Hey guys, welcome back to Zakari Hikari. My name is Zach, and here we discuss everything related to manifestation, conscious creation, conscious manifestation, law of Goddard, law of assumption, Neville Goddard, all that good stuff. Okay, I'm just going to do one take here. Okay, so before I start, if you guys want to work with me, all my information is down below. I'm currently thinking I launched the texting membership for the 2-week and the 4-week program. Already it's been filling up. I might be adding some more slots, so stay tuned. But if that's something that you guys want a little bit more one-on-one help with for Desire and really keeping on track, look at what's available and we'll figure it out from there. If you don't see any availabilities and it's kind of like I don't have a slot open, email me. We can kind of figure it out and go back and forth. I'm still kind of figuring out, we'll figure it out. We'll figure something out. Okay. All right. So, guys, I wanted to talk to you today about something. I got a couple of you who I was speaking with had some really interesting questions and points. Okay. And one of you was asking me, Zach, how do I build faith in the law? Like, how do I build faith and confidence and get to that conviction of knowing that I am reality and that this stuff is really real, right? How can I get there? If I have such a big desire, how can I possibly get there? Okay. And then I had another client who is currently, she booked a package call. She scheduled me for my second call or for her second call. And she just said, I'm trying to manifest this SP and I'm really trying to put my awareness on that SP right now. And but I'm not seeing, and I'm blah, 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 and telling the whole circumstance, all the 3D circumstances that happened with communication and this and that and blah, 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 blah. But she also said, it's funny because she collects jewelry. She decided that she has this whole jewelry drawer, something that she's been doing for manifestation, just to put her awareness on it. And she saw on eBay, she had favorited this, I forget how many carats it was, but it was this diamond ring that she really wanted, and they were listing it for $8,000. And she had it in her favorites on her computer. And every day she kept looking at work on her work computer at that diamond ring. And she didn't do anything. She just thought, I'm not paying $8,000 for that, but I really want it. I really want it. I really want it. All of a sudden she got a message from the seller and said he proposed, or she, I don't know, but the seller proposed that $2,000. And my client said, still too high, and proposed $1,600. And the seller said, okay, deal. So she got an $8,000 ring for $1,600. And then she said, well, I really want this ring. It's supposed to come by in 2 weeks or so. I think she said March 16th or 14th. It was supposed to come, but she wanted it before Tuesday, before her mom comes home. And she said, you know what? No, I want it by Tuesday, whatever. Then all of a sudden she gets an email that it's going to arrive Monday night. And she said, well, Zach, how can I be manifesting these things, but these other things seem so much bigger, or it's so much harder to manifest something that seems bigger, like an SP or career or job, this, that, the other thing. Guys, you have to understand consciousness, what you are, level 7, everything is. There's no more important. There's no less important. There's no harder. There's no easier. There's no more worthy of and less worthy of. It's all just one. It is one. You, as that observer, as the sole focal point of your reality, the operant power, whatever you want to call it, through your vantage point and your assumptions, you give importance to things. You give meaning to everything. You give the difficulty. You are the one who is putting yourself there. And when you understand, and when she understands that manifesting a diamond ring for however much money that she wanted to manifest it for, versus an SP, it's literally the same thing. But I think a lot of you guys, and this is very normal, right? We want a desire, we go on, and usually it starts with an SP or a job circumstance. But I find most people, they start with an SP, and they start with the dating coaches, and they find the Abraham Hicks, and they find this, and they find that, and they go through this whole long, drawn-out journey, right? But you need to understand that what I teach with all of you, it's not about getting that specific thing. It's about putting you and having you understand, first of all, who are you being? Where is your awareness actually? Not where you think your awareness is and what you've self-diagnosed yourself, but who are you actually being and where is that awareness coming from? Then going and choosing, going to your I am and realizing that you have the choice, choosing the appropriate self-concept for whatever desire that it is that you want, which is really the ultimate self-concept of I am, but for the level 5 perspective, which level 5 perspective would be the person living that life, and then going about your way, okay? Now, what I explained to her was manifesting that diamond ring and manifesting an SP is the same exact process. But you're so in a rush, you're like, oh, but this is so easy, this is so hard. Well, in that moment, you're telling that story. So that's number one, right? In the moment that you're saying that it's harder or it's more difficult or it's not here or this or that, the other thing, you're the one putting that meaning there. You're the one who labeled that, and you're the one who is now creating that right now in the moment of now, okay? It's you. There's no one outside of you. There's nothing outside of you. You're giving the power, you're giving the difficulty, you're giving everything to everything. Okay, so what I suggest when you're first starting off with this law, guys, I manifest dumb shit all the fucking time. Okay, I collect anime. Half the reason I collect anime, I don't even have time to watch it, but half the reason I collect it is because I want to test the law, right? So even the other day on Yahoo Auctions Japan, someone was selling a CD for $90, and I thought, I'm not paying $90 for a CD. That's ridiculous. And I just said, you know what, whatever. Someone's gonna pop up later, whatever. 2 days later, it pops up for $8. Okay. Like, I can't make this up. And once you understand that you're literally just like setting an order and then you're moving in that consciousness and you're understanding who you are, that's really where you understand that, okay, all consciousness, all reality, everything is the same. And the reason usually that we have more difficulty with either relationships, career, money, or the things that we deem as being big is because your awareness of being is you're still being aware of the person from those subconscious beliefs who is thinking whatever it is, the person that you're being in relation to love, in relation to relationships, all those stories you have of all the past dramas and traumas that you went through as to why you cannot be that person now, why you don't have those things now, why it's more difficult for you to embody that relationship versus manifesting a diamond ring. You're not sitting there with a diamond ring thinking, oh my God, I'm never going to get this diamond ring. It's never going to happen. It's not what I want. And blah, 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 blah. You're not telling that story. You're like, okay, cool. It's a diamond fucking ring. Right? Like that's the difference. But when you're not aware of who you're actually being in relation to those things that you label as those big difficult things, those things that you really want, then that's you being the person in that awareness that you're probably not even aware of. Again, the subconscious, where you are not consciously aware of what you are aware of that is creating your entire life. If you're not aware of that, yeah, certain things you're going to find being more difficult than the things that are not as difficult because you, as awareness, are creating all of it. And by creating, really creation's finished. You're choosing. You're choosing which reality you're going to embody or go into or live in or whatever next. It's always going to be you, nothing outside of you. So test the law, right? Like test it on little things, test it on everything. You know, you could make a list. You could write down in your notebook, okay, I'm going to manifest the blah, 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 and then check it off when it goes through. And that's fine. I don't really, I guess I did that before when I was scripting much more frequently. Now I don't really do a lot of processes aside from keeping my awareness and taking time every day to put myself there and whatever feels right in the moment. But if you guys want to keep a list, do that, right? But then don't put any importance on any of those things that you're manifesting and then wondering where it is or putting any, saying that it's going to be hard or this or that, the other thing, because then it's just going to turn into that. Right? Test the law. Then when you get success with the law, backtrack and say, okay, how did I do it about that? Okay, so if that's how I did it about that, how can I apply this to the things that I really want in my life right now that seem difficult? What is the same process? What is the process that I went through here? And what is the process that I would be going through here? And that's it. And then you continually keep your awareness going back to that, right? But again, the difficulty is always going to be who are you being and what are the assumptions that you're holding about yourself. And if you're not aware of those, then it doesn't matter because you're still going to be so focused on the person, on the SP, on the job, on the money, on the thing, giving all the power to the thing that the thing might come in for a day, 5 days, a quick text message, whatever, and then it's going to leave just as quickly. You know, Neville talks about that. We give power to things. We think the power into the thing, and then we rob the power from ourselves. And by doing that, that's why the things don't last, because you're thinking that you need that thing when you're not really understanding that it's just you choosing these different realities as yourself, right? So test the law, play with the law, backtrack on the law, make a list of all the different ways that the law kind of like corresponded and made all these crazy things happen in your life. And eventually you're gonna build that faith in the law. Now, of course, guys, none of this is required. It's always you as reality picking and choosing what resonates, what you think is going to work, what gets you there. And it's never going to be out of this place of desperation. But if you're like this client, and a couple of them who are saying, well, I see all the success out there. A part of me really believes in it, but I'm having trouble fully buying the pearl and really identifying and believing it myself, right? Then test it. Test it. Guys, I manifest crazy. Like, I like collecting rare anime shit because the reason is because A, it's out of print, B, it's hard to find. And it's just like, okay, well, what can I manifest next? And it's just like a continual like thing. I have this whole Blu-ray collection and all this stuff that I just enjoy as a testament to the law for myself, right? And I can go into different, there's different things that I can talk about with testing the law, and I'm sure I'll do other videos on this moving forwards. But you really have to like understand it's all you. And you're the one who is giving the power and the importance and to all of it. When you really understand this law, and it's really not even, I know I use the word law, and I know that we have to use these words for, concessions to the 3D in order to get, to grasp an understanding of it. But the law, it's just how it is. Like, it's just literally, this is how reality works. Reality works based on your awareness of being, of who you are, choosing what you want, where you want to embody next. And if you watched my last video on gratitude, it's giving gratitude for living that now, choosing it, and then going about your Father's business, going about your day, living your best life. Like, that's really where you want to be going with this, guys. It's not about the thing. It's not about the life, right? Embody it in imagination, see it, feel it real, go there, but also who are you being now? And if you're having difficulty and you're like, oh, fuck, I was doing this, and then the SP sent me this, and then the other thing, fine, reach out, I'm happy to help you. But it's always going to be the same message. This is a personal experience. This is a personal journey, and each and every one of you it's going to look a little bit different for each of you, because each of you everyone has a very similar awareness because it's the human, experience, but everyone's going to have a different story. Everyone's going to have a little bit of a different tweak. And if you're not really putting your awareness on the self-concept and identifying who you've been and then choosing that new one, you're going to go around in circles. But with things that you don't have so much attachment to, that don't matter as much, start there, right? And I know some people say, well, I can't manifest a free cup of coffee. I can't manifest this. Well, are you manifesting a free cup of coffee and then putting all this awareness and pressure and importance on that cup of coffee, because that cup of coffee is what's going to prove to you that this law is real? And if you can't manifest that cup of coffee, that means that all this is fucked and you're wasting your time. Because if that's where you're coming from, that is what you're going to create and experience. And then you're just going to go around in circles again and again and again and again. So test it on multiple things. Even Neville talks about this. I should have looked up the quote before this video. He even talks about this. He even says, even I have to remind myself. He had to remind himself of this law, and he said, I would be lying to you if I did not fail sometimes. And really, you can't fail because you can choose again. And I truly think that his teachings, he would have been evolving right along with us. But you can't really fail. You only fail to convince yourself that that reality is true now. That's it. That's the only thing there is to convince yourself of you living that reality now. That's it. And once you move into that consciousness, you're giving the gratitude for it, you're testing the law, you're feeling the love, you're there, you go about your life. No one to change but self, nothing else to do. That's it. All right? I want you guys to really test it. You can test the law in multiple different ways. Like, start manifesting so much shit that you can't even keep track of it all. And it's just like, oh God, this popped up, this popped up, this popped up, blah, 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 blah. And then you're going to be like, okay, cool. All right, I've tested the law. I'm seeing how it works. Okay, now this is the thing that I want, but this thing isn't coming. Well, where's my awareness on this thing? What am I being honest with myself? Am I being aware? Is it not even if I have a perfect awareness about this thing, but what's my awareness about myself? Right? Then go from there. But testing the law on every little stupid thing in your reality, that's what's going to be like, oh shit, okay, I'm seeing a pattern here. Okay, this is making sense. Because remember, Neville talks about this. You trust this law and you believe in this law experientially. Right? A lot of you guys will listen to YouTube video to YouTube video to YouTube video when all you need to listen to is really like a couple of us, because there's only a couple of us who are really teaching this at the highest level, and use that and study from it and listen to it, but then do it, right? Be a doer of the word, not a hearer. And I understand you say, well, what does that even mean? You don't need to do, you're just awareness. Well, if you have a desire and you want to embody that reality, doing is embodying that reality in consciousness as awareness, knowing that you are consciousness. I don't care what anyone else says. If people are saying, well, you know what, you just don't be aware of anything, and you don't have to, you watch my video on desires. You're here to have desires. You're here to experience those desires unfilling in the 3D, and you do that through consciously being that person now. Okay? So, again, this is a little bit of a Zach rant, and that's fine, but test the law. Test it however you want to test it. Keep testing it, build that faith, and eventually you will get that conviction of knowing you are reality. At the same time, understanding you are reality, understanding you're seeing everything playing out from you. Okay? Everything that you have experienced in this life came from your awareness first. And that's why I had another client the other day who said, I just knew that he was going to do this. I just knew it. I knew it. And she kept saying, I had this feeling, I just knew it was going to happen. Then it happened. Well, yes, because you knew it into being. Remember, intuition is not real. Intuition is you knowing something into being, you choosing that reality and going there, whether it's a wanted or unwanted reality, because there's no positive or negative, it's just your preference. And then because you knew it and put so much emphasis on it and so much awareness on it, and you believed it to be true with almost like this magnetic conviction of knowing, then you experienced it, and then you get upset because, oh my God, I experienced it. I knew that was going to happen. Well, yeah, your knowing caused it first, right? Every aspect of this law, I'm not saying you have to master every little piece, okay? But I'm giving you guys these little things to try, these little cheat codes to understand it at the basic level, then put it all together and be, okay? And if you need help with that, I'm here. I'm always here for you guys, whether it's me, someone else. Just make sure whoever you're working with is actually giving you a real game plan, identifying where you are in awareness, and putting you on your way. If you're going back to coaches spending thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars and they're not really putting you at the center of where you are, then they're wasting your fucking time. Okay? And maybe you will have a couple sessions with me. You'll get your shit, and then you fall back asleep to the illusion. You solve something that triggered you, and then you come back. That's fine. Okay? This is a multiple lifelong journey, because this journey never ends. Okay? But test the law. Prove it to yourself in experience again and again and again and again. And the more you test it and the more you prove it to yourself, the more you're going to build up that faith and belief as I am awareness, as that conviction of reality, of that I am state of being. Okay, guys? All right. That's it for the testing of the law video I wanted to put out there. I'm going to have another video coming out soon as well. But again, if you guys got this, okay? No one to change but self. You are the only power. All right? All right, if you guys want to work with me, you know how to reach me. And until next time, I love you, and I will talk to you guys soon. Okay? All right, bye.